Even after completion of this chapter, our environment, some students are not able to understand the difference between environment and ecosystem. In this video, first of all, we will start with the basic difference between them and then we will move ahead in further details. Hello everyone, this is Ratika I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Study Together with Ratika. We are going to start our environment chapter which is of class 10th. Today, what does this term mean? You see here in this image, you are able to see that in a classroom, few students are there, they are playing, they are also doing some activity. So all the non-living objects which are creating this type of environment, this type of situation to make them learn something, that is known as an environment. So overall you can say that all the non-living objects or the non-living things which create a condition in an area, that is known as an environment, right? Let's see how this term environment is different from ecosystem. So ecosystem is the interaction between living and non-living things, whereas in environment we learned about all the non-living objects which are creating a situation, right? Ecosystem is made up of biotic factors, that is the living objects, and abiotic factors, that is non-living objects, right? Now, biotic factors are those living organisms which are present in any specific area. For example, in this region, plants, animals, humans, microbes or microorganisms, insects, all of these are the biotic factors. Whether they are the minutest or they are the large organisms, but all of them are termed as biotic factors. Now let's see what is abiotic factor. In an area, whatever number of non-living objects are present, all of them are termed as abiotic factors. Now these are of two types, edaphic factors and climatic factors. Climatic factors are regulated by the climate. For example, the temperature of an area, rainfall, wind, pH, etc. All of these things are climatic in nature. Whereas edaphic factors which are not at all determined by the climate. For example, this is a land where some plants are present, right? Type of soil we have in that area, the minerals that is present in the soil, all of these things are known as edaphic factors, and both of these combine to form the abiotic factors, right? How the biotic and abiotic factors are interacting with each other, or how you can say they are dependent on each other. For example, in this image you see these fishes are present which are totally dependent on water. Why? Because the fish requires oxygen and it gets the oxygen from the water. So now how this water is dependent on living objects? You know, in the water so many rocks are there and these rocks are covered with algae. Now so many fishes are present, or you can say zooplanktons, which are the smallest organisms. They feed on the algae. Now when they will feed on algae, they'll actually clear the water. Otherwise, this water will be full of algae. So in this way, the water is being cleaned up by other living organisms, and that is why water is dependent on living organisms. And in return, the living organisms are dependent on water because they need some shelter, they need oxygen which is given by the water. Let's see the biotic components. The biotic, that is the living components, are of three types in an ecosystem: producers, consumers and decomposers. Let's see this. Producers, all the autotrophs which are able to prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis process are known as producers. They are actually producing the food, right? For example, plants, few bacteria like cyanobacteria and algae which have chlorophyll pigment in them. These organisms can prepare their food. That is why they are producers. The next one is consumers. Consumers means those organisms who consume their food from the producers. Either they are directly dependent on producers or indirectly they are dependent on them. So the herbivores, omnivores, carnivores, parasites, all of these organisms which we term as heterotrophs are dependent on the autotrophs. Then the last one is decomposers. They actually break down the complex organic matter into the simpler ones. Examples are bacteria and fungi, right? Let's see all of these things in detail. Consumers are divided into various categories. For example, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and quaternary consumers. Primary consumers are those consumers which are directly dependent on autotrophs, right? For example, those organisms or those animals which directly eat plants, grass, etc. They are known as primary consumers. For example, rabbit, grasshopper, right? They directly consume the plants. Then the secondary consumers are either they are carnivores or they are omnivores who totally depend on primary consumers, right? For example, the frog, rat, etc. Then the next one comes tertiary consumers. These are again the organisms which are at the top level in most of the ecosystems. Some of the ecosystems, quaternary consumers also come, but in most of other ecosystems, tertiary consumers become the topmost consumer level, right? For examples, snake, humans, eagle, all of these are examples of tertiary consumers. Have you ever seen that the humans are eaten up by other animals? I'm sure you must never have seen. Yeah, in certain conditions, you must have seen that in a forest, the lion or tiger can eat up a man. But in normal conditions, it doesn't happen. Then the last one comes quaternary consumers that I already have told you that they are dependent on tertiary consumers. But it is not necessary that in each and every ecosystem, quaternary consumers will be there, right? So the examples can be human again. Right. So you can say that human are present in both the consumers, in quaternary as well as in tertiary consumers. Now, the next is decomposers. You must have seen that the dead leaves fall apart from the trees. In the images here, you are able to see the dead body of animals and human. These are partially decomposed because of the action of decomposers. Now, what do decomposers do? They convert the organic matter, the complex organic matter, into the simpler ones. After this conversion, the material is converted into a powdery mass, which is very much beneficial for the growth of the plants. Or you can say that it is used as a manure also. So producers are again using that matter. In this way, the decomposers play a crucial role in converting the dead remains into very useful product that is used by the producers for producing the food. So this was about the levels of the consumers. In our next video, we will be discussing about food chain, food web, trophic level, etc. Till then, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you get the notification on time. Thanks for watching and please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.